turbo.
Hell yeah, boy! Got that V-power! Which probably does nothing whatsoever, guys. I don't know how many of you guys actually use Shell V-power in your car or your bikes, but really does it work? I mean, I honestly don't think it does anything whatsoever. It just looks good. V-power! Ah! Getting crazy up in here, guys! Do you know what, guys? It's been so refreshing and so nice to hear so many of you out there saying that I've inspired you to get this bike, the Benelli TNT 125. Like, that's crazy to think that I have inspired somebody who is probably choosing their new bike to get this one. Like, I'm happy that I can inspire you and make you excited about this bike, but how good is this bike, and is it really worth getting it over the grom? Well, I'd like to think so. It's the age-old question of, is it better than the Honda Grom? There's so many bikes out there like the Honda Grom nowadays, like the Benelli TNT 125, and also Honda is actually going to be making the Honda monkey bikes again. So that's going to be really interesting to see what they are like, and I'm definitely going to get a ride of one of those babies. I can imagine they're going to be so much fun. But why would you go about buying this bike over a Honda Grom? Well, first of all, let me go over the things that I think are better on this bike than the Honda Grom. First, and probably most obvious, is the price. It's so much cheaper, just over £1,000 cheaper than the Honda Grom. And then you have the looks of this bike, and honestly, it is beautiful. Like, straight out of the factory, it is amazing to look at. Whereas with the Honda Grom, I feel like you have to do a few modifications to make it look very nice.
She is my sister. She is #4 prostitute in all of Kazakhstan. Nice.
Now, take into consideration, I was actually going to get the Honda Grom over this bike until I seen this in the flesh. And while, yeah, I do like the Honda Grom, this just stood out completely. And the difference between this and the Honda Grom is that it sits slightly higher as well. And the comfort of the seat position, I think, is much better than the Honda Grom too. Now, the engine specs with this bike is pretty much the same as the Honda Grom. The Honda Grom does have 4 gears while this has 5, and I believe the Honda Grom has a little bit more torque, but that's about it. It has pretty much the same top speed, and I can't imagine the acceleration would be much difference to this bike either. Although with the Honda Grom being ever so slightly smaller, it probably would be a bit lighter. Now, it's not all good about this bike, there are some bad points as well to point out. Now, there are a few little things that will need changing on this bike, and that include the tyres, and also, which I haven't got around to doing yet, is delinking the brakes. But look at this, guys, it does sit happily at 67, 68, and this is with wind coming towards me, you know, so it's not too bad, guys. 69, we'll hit 70, I'm sure. There we go, 70. Oh my god, that always makes me laugh when I see a bike come flying past me and I'm there maxing it out on a 125. Oh god. But with most 125s, you're only ever going to really get around about 70, 80 at that. So don't worry too much about that. Because I have so many people come to me and say, how fast does it go? What's the top speed? But it doesn't really matter, like, because with a 125, really you should be getting 70 anyway. Like, 70 should be a standard for a 125. and the majority of 125 bikes don't hit anything under 70 anyway. There is another thing as well which people are always worried about, and that's the build quality of these bikes. Now, honest to God guys, every bike, no matter which company they come from, always have little glitches. Like Honda Grom, they actually had a recall of their bikes. I can't remember what the problem was exactly, but they had a recall for their bikes. So just because it's labelled Honda, Suzuki, Yamaha, it doesn't really matter guys, because at the end of the day, every bike out there is going to have maybe a little default. Even this bike, which has been absolutely fantastic, may have a little niggling problem in the future. But one thing you need to get done on this bike, if you get it, is the works exhaust, which sounds amazing. Look at, oh, dirty exhaust. I'm assuming he hasn't robbed that bike. He looked pretty set up, but there is a police biker there, so... But the main point is, once you see a bike, you fall in love with it, and that's the end of the story. And that's what it was like for me when I seen this bike. I honestly think these two bikes are just as good as each other. Maybe the build quality on the Honda Grom is a little bit better, but honestly I've never seen a Chinese bike with such great build quality as I have on this Benelli TNT 125. I've been really impressed with the parts quality on it. But what it boils down to is what you really love between the two bikes and what really makes you happy. If you have liked this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe, and don't forget to tap that bell end, because it'll notify of any more videos coming up in the future, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!